everyone, Stephen Harold here, and welcome to the channel. I'll be discussing horror movies for you guys in a very blunt way. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys my review for In a Violent Nature, which was released last year in 2024 and was directed by Chris Nash. When I heard about this film, it was one of those things that kind of intrigued me after hearing about the fact that this was going to be shot in the killer's POV. And it was very intriguing. I was like, I wonder how that works out. And then never got a chance to actually watch it when it first was released. But then finally getting to watch it this past December, I was almost fucking certain that I basically got to see a new subgenre of horror born. And it started with this film. Now, I know a lot of people have been kind of doing their own reviews, and it's kind of a mixed bag. Some people don't like this movie, and some people do. But what do I personally think of it? So, let's get on to the review for In a Violent Nature. For the story of this film, we follow the serial killer Johnny as he walks very slowly around and starts killing people left, right, and center. And if you guys were wondering, what about the characters that are in this film that are the protagonists? This movie's not about them. This movie is heavily about the serial killer himself. Now, remember when I said that this was a new subgenre kind of starting, and it's the POV genre, where we get to experience the POV of the slasher villain. Now, could you imagine if you were watching Friday the 13th, let's say Friday the 13th Part 7, for example, and you just saw Jason get done killing the birthday boy, and then instead of a shot where we see the house where the other party goers are at and they're talking to each other, conversing, and we see Tina or whatever, we just followed Jason the whole time after he's made that kill, and he just starts walking around. That's what this movie is. This story is basically, let's see this from the killer's perspective. What would it be like if we just followed the killer the whole fucking time and didn't focus on the other characters? So for this story, it's a mindless slasher film, which doesn't reinvent the horror genre, especially the slasher genre, but it creates a new subgenre in the horror genre. If that makes sense. I know I might have lost you because I kept saying the word genre. I should probably put a dollar somewhere. But other than that, when this story is as bare basic as possible, but does it work, for trying something new, yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting kind of watch. Once you watch it, there are moments where you're going to be kind of dreading it when it comes to this story. Now, I did say when it comes to the protagonists, they are not the focal point of this movie at all. We just see a bunch of campers who are just out and about, doing their own thing, whatever. But we never get any time with them. You only get like a fire scene where they basically are around a campfire and they're telling the story, the legend of Johnny. And then after that, you can hear little glimpses and little conversations here and there throughout the movie when they're close by to Johnny, but that's basically it. You do have your final girl, you do have the other stereotypes in the fucking movie itself, but they are not the focal point of this film. So if you guys are wondering, like, oh, well, what's the acting like? Well, shitty acting. There's no other way to put it. Remember, these protagonists are not the main focus, so don't worry too much about them. The movie's main focus is Johnny, the undead serial killer who basically has an origin story that's kind of almost similar to Jason, because how one of the characters even explains it during that whole campfire scene. He was a slow kid. It's like, okay, you could just say he was mentally challenged, but sure, whatever. And he died because these truck drivers were sick and tired of his dad raising the prices on everything, so they played a prank on him and said, hey, there's some toys up in that tower, that fire tower. And Johnny went up, and then he got scared by someone wearing a old school firefighter's mask, and he fell to his death. Then he came back to life and killed all the workers after he found out all those workers killed his dad. And then he wakes up again because someone has taken the necklace that his dad gave him. And this is where that movie comes out. Now, basically, this is the odd thing. This is like a third film in a franchise that doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, are you with me on that? This is basically picking up like a Friday the 13th Part 3. If you were just to, like, if someone had came over to my house and they're like, hey, I want to watch that movie. You want to watch Friday the 13th Part 3? Don't you want to watch Part 1 and 2? No, I just want to watch Part 3. Okay. And then they're like, well, I don't understand what happened in the first and the second. It's like, oh, wow, well, you should have watched those, right? But you can't do this here. You can't at all. That's how it is. Now, for Johnny, on the other hand, for his look, when he finally wakes up and he's walking around and he's not masked yet, he looks creepy from behind. He does look creepy, and they do not look on his face yet. You see it in blurs and far distances, but you don't see his face yet. Now, when he obtains his items, like the old firefighter mask, I will say, at first I didn't dig it. I didn't really like the look of it. But as the movie went on, I was like, I think I know why I don't dig it. It's because the fact that his whole ensemble, from how he was dressed, and then all of a sudden he's wearing a firefighter mask. What? It's so out of place, but maybe that's the reason why. It's kind of also reminiscent of Jason in a way. I mean, this guy, he's wearing like a green button-up shirt. He's wearing, brown pants and everything. But then he's wearing a hockey mask. It just kind of doesn't look right. So maybe it's a little homage to him. But other than that, his weaponry too. I mean, he has two, dragging hooks and a big old axe. Not bad of a look, I guess. But other than that, when it comes to the character, you have to keep in mind we were following him throughout the whole fucking movie. He walks very fucking slow. And all you're going to see is him walking. And walking. And more walking. And then he does some kills. Then some more walking. Interesting character. But, if I have to be more honest, it's like, I don't like his look. I think his look should have been a little bit more improved on. Now, there was a great way of putting this film into a perspective to shorten it for someone. It's basically an ASMR of someone walking around in the woods. There is no music in this movie. I mean, like, one of the characters, he's listening to music on his Walkman or whatever. But that's it. That's all you get. There's no, like, high-tension music. There's no, like, suspenseful music. There's nothing. The only sounds you hear are the sounds of twigs breaking from Johnny walking, the birds, the crickets, the wind, all that kind of stuff. It's like an ASMR for people who like to go walking in the woods, just to put it bluntly, which is interesting. And that's what really intrigued me, because it was like, there's no music in this movie. And all I hear is that it's kind of relaxing, to say the least. And for that's where I could kind of give it the respect it deserves. Now, of course, everyone's just watching him walk and walk and walk and walk and walk. What about the kills and the gore? They live up to it. Now, there is a lot of kills in this movie that basically are like, wow, shit. We just watched him walk around. I guess he could fucking basically plan how he's going to kill someone while he's walking. And then when he finally gets to him, he kills him gloriously. The first kill we see is this guy, number one motherfucker. It's a nice mash cut of Johnny reaching for him, and then all of a sudden it cuts to his hand reaching again, but it's now covered in blood. So it's like, oh. So you can kind of see what happened to him, but it's not really shown. Then you have the one guy who is about to go out and meet up with the gas station chicks or whatever, and he gets the part 5 behind the tree kill, but he has a saw that goes into his mouth, and Johnny just pulls back, and then the half of his head just falls. And then we get the girl in the lake who just gets drowned. It's an amazing shot where I know behind the scenes they were saying that they really wanted to follow the camera under the water with Johnny, but they just could never do it. And yeah, it's kind of a big deal to try that, and obviously it was hard to do. But we see Johnny just walk in the water, and we're seeing the two people conversing in the lake, and then all of a sudden the one gets pulled down. And she's under that fucking water for quite some time, so she's probably a professional diver. Probably. But yeah, she basically drowns. And then we get to see a few more other people die. We see the one asshole in the movie who, I don't know how this happens, but he got an axe to the leg. And the buddy who is also trying to help him survive, he gets an axe thrown right at him, right in the back of the head. And then Johnny catches up to him and he grabs a rock and he fucking smashes his head in. But the thing is it's done live right there. And so I want to know how the fuck the effect worked, because you see the guy literally moving and he's like, no, no, no. And then the rock comes down and smashes his head to bits. Like, we literally were just watching him move. There's no way there was a dummy there. Like, how the fuck did they do this? I don't know how. And then there's the park ranger who had a backstory, basically the Tommy Jarvis of this movie, but very useless. He gets his spine broken and he fucking, just, the only thing that can move is his eyes, and we see Johnny just taking to this machine that cuts logs, and Johnny basically demonstrates, this is what's going to happen to you. So he puts his arm there, gets it cut off, and then this machine moves so goddamn slow, like Johnny. I think it's been very much established that a lot of people, when they review this, they have this other thought too. Like, I think Johnny was originally going to do limb by limb, but he saw how fucking slow this thing was. No, get to the head, and then decapitates him. Slowly decapitates him. You gotta remember, this guy's paralyzed. Yes, he can't move, but I'm sure he can feel everything, and it fucking sucks. And then we get this other kill where this guy, he's trying to distract Johnny, and Johnny just sees that shit coming and fucking just hammers his face with that axe. And he does it for what looks like fucking 60 times. Just flump, flump, flump. And it's like, that's all you fucking see. It's just him just going to town. It's like, if that Simpsons meme of, stop, he's already dead, was ever meant for a kill, that was it. But if you haven't seen this movie, you should, for one specific kill, and it's definitely called the yoga kill. It is the kill that basically, I remember watching it and was so like, what the fuck? Like, utterly fucking amazed. I've never seen a kill like this, ever. So for all those who have never seen this movie, and you get to the girl who's doing yoga, you're going to be thoroughly impressed. Of like, what the fuck? Like, he's a showman, for fuck's sakes, when he does it. I can't even explain this kill to you. It's so goddamn good. So if you guys haven't watched it, go watch it. That kill's worth the fucking price of admission, or even to rent it or buy it. But for those who have watched it, man, was it a sight to see. We've never seen that before, and we finally got to see something like that, and it was amazing to watch. So of course there's going to be some negatives with this movie, and a lot of the time the negative has a lot to do with the walking. We do follow Johnny a lot, and this is basically what a slasher villain's life is like. He kills someone and then he just walks around, and that's all we see is him walking. It's a very boring fucking life. And then he gets another kill, then he's gonna go walk again. So for some people, I understand that's something that they don't like. And I know there have been times where it was very tedious. Like, when he sees the two girls at the lake, he puts his axe down on that tree stump. And then he performs the two kills, the one with the drowning and the yoga kill. And then he's walking back and to retrieve that fucking axe. And that just drags for a while. But I understand and respect what they were trying to do. The scene in question that really drags this movie down is the scene where the final girl gets away, gets in a vehicle, and her and the driver are talking. I ended up fucking recording the time. 9 minutes of them sitting there and talking. And it's supposed to basically represent, like, what if Sally from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, after she got on that truck, what would that conversation be like? After she's screaming hysterically. The driver's like, you okay? Like, what happened? And it's just like, yeah, it seems kind of on point. Well, like, that's how realistic it would be. but it's fucking boring. And I do remember to even say that the driver of that movie was also in Friday the 13th Part 2. She was the chick that grew a very fond interest with the guy in the wheelchair. But other than that, I know a lot of people, when it comes to the progressive amounts of walking and nothing happening and more walking, it can get very tedious. That's why with this movie, it was one of those things where it's like, when I had to watch it a second time, I had to really prepare for the amount of walking going on. Above all else, this movie was a very interesting watch. I mean, it's something I've never seen before. And now they also have this other movie called Presence, which is told in the perspective, the POV of a spirit haunting a house. And I never got to see that movie yet, and I'm looking forward to actually seeing that. But I feel like this movie kicked off the POV genre in, like, the POV subgenre in horror. I mean, the fact that we are looking at the killer's POV, and then there's that other movie where we're looking at the ghost POV. It's kind of interesting. I know this movie is a very much a hit and miss. It's a very divisive movie where a lot of people will say, no, this movie sucks. It's not for me. It's too boring. And then there are some people who are just, they got it, right? This movie is a very interesting watch for me. And I had so much fun when it came to the kills and just the smartness with this and the homages. It's just a lot of the time, there's a lot of shit that just drags. And the lack of music is like, yeah, that Johnny doesn't have like a theme or any type of score going on when he goes chasing people and whatever. The only score you have is basically an ASMR of the wilderness, which could drag sometimes. Other than that, like, the kills are great. Johnny's origin story sounds just on point with Jason. His look, it's a meh for me. But a lot of the walking around, there's some of it where it's like, yeah, I get it. And there's more and more and more. And it's like, okay, let's speed this up a little bit. So if you guys are not really into that movie, I would not really recommend it. But if you guys want to experience something that's different from any other slasher films you've watched, this is definitely one of those movies. Now, do I personally enjoy it? I do. It's a good film. I love the kills. It's just, yeah, it kind of drags a little bit. And I found myself, after watching it for a third time, it was like, yeah, I know what scene's coming up now. I know it's coming up, and this takes a while. And yeah, it's one of those things you kind of dread. But this is definitely one of the movies that you can watch, but wait a little bit longer to watch it again. Anyways, for my rating, I'm going to give In a Violent Nature a 6 out of 10. So tell me, guys, what did you guys think of In a Violent Nature? Let me know in the comments down below. If you liked the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more content. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you get notified about all the other videos coming out on this channel. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. I'm Stephen Harold. And as always, stay spooky.